Hey everybody, my name's Mark. Welcome to Mile High Church. Thanks for spending your weekend with us, especially if you're new. Our vision, Oneness Revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. Before we get started today, we wanted to give you a look at a few things coming up for you and your family around Mile High Church. Understand, reconnect, and nurture an often overlooked part of yourself, your inner child. You can make peace with your childhood, and it's a necessary process for healing. Our Inner Child Journey Workshop is an experiential weekend that teaches you how to reparent your inner child, process deep emotions, and free your creative expression. The registration deadline is tomorrow. And next Sunday, our music concert series kicks off with the amazing Daniel Namod. So be sure to stick around after the 10 a.m. service. Hang with some friends, get a bite to eat at the food truck, and stick around for some great tunes.
Right now, I'm organizing the name tags for our luncheon. Once a month, we have the seniors come in and we have a luncheon program where the meals are supplied. And then also, we have either entertainment or somebody that speaks to us. So it's a nice outing for seniors.
Oh, the Wisdom Keepers group is one of my favorite groups of the whole wide world. They're Wisdom Gone Wild, and it's from age 55 on up. And we've been together over 20 years, the Wisdom Keepers, and we still have some of our original members with us. A lot of people say, well, I'm not old enough. Well, let me tell you, these Wisdom Keepers know how to stay young. Try it out. I think you would enjoy the fellowship. It's community at its best.
For more information about anything you've heard today, stop by the event center or connect with us online at milehighchurch.org.
Good morning, friends. Stand if you are able and sing together. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. There we go. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. Oh, my God is so good to me. Feeling good down in my soul, yeah. Feeling good down in my soul, God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul, God is so good. Well, my God is so good to me. When my day is over, I sing, God is so good. When my day is over, I sing, God is so good. When my day is over, I sing, God is so good. Well, my God is so good to me. Every day and every way, God is so good. Every day and every way, God is so good. Every day and every way, yeah, God is so good. My God is so good to me. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so very, very good. Oh, I got up this morning singing, God is so good. My God is so, my God is so, my God is so good to me.
Laura Berman, thank you so much. Good morning, Mile High Church. Good morning to all of you here in our sanctuary. Good morning to those of you online. And I want to start out by saying Happy Mother's Day. Yay. If you are a mama and you're celebrating today or in any way you want to acknowledge yourself as a mothering energy, please either raise your hand or stand up. Let's acknowledge our moms in the room today. And those of you at home, you can stand up too. We celebrate moms. Yay. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for allowing us to honor you and celebrate you. And if you're one of those kids who got dragged here today by your moms who just said, I just want you to go to church with me for Mother's Day, I feel you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. we'll try not to be too boring, and we're so grateful that you're here. I'm so grateful that we get to celebrate mothers everywhere, and so grateful for my mom. Happy Mother's Day to my mother. And I'm grateful that as a community, we get to acknowledge and celebrate each other and really see each other. And as you can see here, we have our memorial candle up here with me because we get to honor someone who made his transition into the next life plane this week. A very long-time member here and practitioner named John Turek passed away this past week. Many of you probably know him. I know that when I arrived here when I was 15 years old, he was very much a part of our community, serving and supporting and uplifting, and we're so grateful for him, and we send our love to him and his family. We know that he now is on the other side with his beloved wife, Nancy, who also passed away recently, and so I invite us just to take a moment of deep breath and acknowledgement as we light our memorial candle today in honor of beloved John. And we send light and love to his family and to all who loved him and cared for him and are so grateful for his life in every realm, and especially for here at Mile High Church and the way he made a difference. So thank you, John Turek. And as we breathe in deeply now, we have an opportunity to go into prayer. So we may want to keep John and his family in our prayers. And as we do our spiritual practice together today, we get a chance to sing, we get some silence, and then Reverend Carol will lead us in a beautiful prayer. I invite you to take a deep breath and let us begin and let us go within.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
What a joy it is to come together in prayer this morning, to take a moment from our busy mornings and just be in that stillness and that silence, knowing that it's that gap between the words where we find the divine. And as I listen to the songbirds welcoming the day this morning, I heard the notes of joy singing God's voice. And so we have this wonderful opportunity to come together to just spend a moment to listen for God's voice, knowing that it speaks within our soul, it speaks within our heart. And it's in that silence where we can open up, just let go of our thoughts, and be present to that creative intelligence, that spirit, God, whatever we choose to call it, that moves in, through, and around us in every single moment. And just remembering that this morning. Celebrating motherhood, celebrating that divine feminine that resides within each and every one of us. Celebrating Mother Earth this morning. And just knowing that all those qualities of the divine, wisdom and kindness and compassion, patience, love, and peace are all flowing to us in every single moment. And so we open up the blinds and we let it in. This morning I am so grateful for Dr. Michelle and her profound message. All the hearts and hands that come together to create this amazing community that we call Mile High Church. I am so grateful. Grateful for the good that we do, the good we do in our community, the good we do in each other's lives. And I'm glad that we stand for peace. We stand for peace within ourselves, in our community, and in our world. And so I just allow this morning. And as I release these words and these truths into that beautiful alchemy of love and law, I know that all is well, because all is God. And so it is.
Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious when held up to the light. Every heart connected, each the face of God. Grace has shown me every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious when held up to the light. Every heart connected, each the face of God, of God. Grace has shown me, oh, I know every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every breath is life. I know every moment is precious when we hold it to the light. And every heart is connected,
In celebration of mothers today, and also those who have stood in the place of mother, our words of inspiration from Washington Irving. A mother is the truest friend we have when trials and heavy, sudden, all upon us, when adversity takes the place of prosperity, when friends who rejoice with us in our sunshine desert us, when troubles thicken around us, still will she cling to us, endeavored by her kind perceptions, her counsel, to be present and to be that aspect that dispels the clouds of darkness and causes peace to return to our hearts. And from Maya Angelou, I really saw clarity when for the first time why a mother is really important. Not just because she feeds and also loves and cuddles, and even Molly cuddles a child, but because in an interesting and maybe a eerie and unworldly way, she stands in the gap. She stands between the unknown and the known. God bless all mothers.
Madam X, throw away your crystal ball, 'cause it will never tell you all about me. Now have your fun rummaging through my past. I gotta say I'm done with that. I am free. There is nothing I am guilty of in the eyes of perfect love. Finally I am waking up from my sleep like a child in a warm embrace, staring at his mother's face, knowing heaven's just a place that's been right here all along. It's been right here all along, right here. I wasted time popping all my stupid pills, believing that I was ill, afraid to feel. Oh, now I'm letting go of searching for a brand new fix when I was never really sick. No, no, no. I am healed. I am dancing high above the clouds, living only in the now, committed to a brand new vow of joy. Don't you wanna have a taste of what it's like to feel this safe in the magnitude of heaven's grace? That's been right here all along. It's been right here all along, right here. It's been right here all along. Well, I am coming home. I am coming home. I am coming to the heart of a mother and strength of a father, joining hands with all of my brothers in a love that's true, created just for me and you. All you really have to do is know that you were never left behind in the beauty of mankind.
Laura Berman. Woo! With an original Laura Berman song. I think that's my favorite Laura Berman song. Although there's so many, it's hard to pick. But that song made me become your fan. I'm the president of your fan club. Laura Berman, thank you so much. And our wonderful band, Bijou and Mike and Stu and Rob. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful job. So before I begin my message, I do want to say one more thing about Mother's Day. Maybe you're not a mother, but I like to look at where does a holiday like this that comes along once a year unite us all together? And here's where it unites us, right? We've all had a mother. She's somewhere in this universe, and you may have had a great relationship or not so great relationship. She may be on this plane of existence, may have been long gone, may have just gone recently, whatever it might be. I use these annual holidays, Mother's Day and Father's Day, to invite myself to do a little personal inventory about how is my soul healing. The mother I have is an amazing mother, and she was a different person when she was younger and I was younger, and there are sometimes still wounds that get uncovered from that time that need tending to. And so I encourage you to use this holiday to get right with your heart and your healing journey around your mother. And one way that you might want to consider doing that is joining us for our Inner Child Journey this Friday night and all day Saturday. It's a wonderful experience, a powerful experience, a transformational experience, one of the most impactful workshops I've taken here that can help us get back to a more healed space in that relationship. And many people take it over and over again because they're willing to come and keep doing that holy sacred work. And it is holy sacred work. I do have scholarships still, so if you're letting money keep you from being with us, you can just let that go and talk to me or email me. The deadline to sign up is tomorrow because we feed you, and so we need to know how many people we've got so we can get enough food on the table for everybody. So please consider this a call and an invitation to join us for this holy sacred work. And speaking of holy sacred work, we are continuing with an abundance series, a little mini series, if you will, that we started last Sunday, celebrating and honoring abundance. We are talking today about how to surrender our barriers to good. And I want to just do a brief little review of where we started last week, as a reminder for some of us who were together last Sunday, and if you weren't with us, to get a sense of it. Because I believe there are two really important steps to living an abundant life. And I remind us all that when I'm talking about an abundant life, it's however you define abundance. It's not just all about money, although it's inclusive of money and financial abundance. It might be that you struggle with lack around time or energy or friendships or connection or opportunities or health or whatever it might be. If you are experiencing any lack or limitation in life, that means that you're not experiencing abundance in that area. And some of us easily and effortlessly are able to create abundance in some areas, but struggle in others. And the first step that I suggested last week has all to do with worth, with our inherent inner sense of our worth. It's about recognizing that there's nothing out there keeping our good from us, punishing us, demanding that we prove ourselves or that we become worthy of it, which is an old story that sometimes we are tempted to tell ourselves. My whole theory, our whole theory in our teaching is that there's an energy, a force, a presence that is pouring itself through each one of us completely and totally. It is never withholding itself. It has no capacity to even withhold itself from us. But we put up barriers to it. And one of the first barriers is persisting in believing, I'm just not good enough. I'm just not smart enough. I'm just not lovable enough. I'm just not whatever your enough might be. And so we started last week by inviting ourselves to let go of that story. There's a beautiful teaching story that I love, that I remind myself about frequently, that I want to share with you, that I think just kind of touches into this and gets us started in this conversation about surrendering barriers today. It's a teaching about a wise woman who's wandering through the mountains on foot, and she comes across a precious stone that is very, very valuable. She picks the stone up and she puts it in her satchel. And as she's wandering, she comes up to another traveler, a man who's very hungry, and he asks her if she has any food she can share with him. So she opens her satchel to get him some bread, and when she does, the sun shines down on them and shines into the satchel, and the traveler sees that stone in her bag. And he says, "Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Will you give me that stone?" And she takes it out and she hands it to him. And he looks at it and he thinks, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it." And he takes off as quickly as he can with this stone because he's a poor man and he recognizes that this stone is so valuable that it could feed him and his family for the rest of his life. No more struggle, no more worry about any of it. And so he is just ecstatic. And as he walks along, suddenly he finds himself reflecting back and he turns around. And he goes back and he travels to find the wise woman. And when he finds her, he hands her the stone back and he says, "I am bringing this back to you even though it is tremendously valuable because I think you have something more valuable that you could share with me." And she says, "What is that?" And he says, "What's inside of you that allowed you to give me this stone in the first place?" That's what we're talking about. We're talking about a life where we're so in tune with the energy and the presence and the abundance that is naturally flowing to us and through us, that giving and sharing and being in the flow doesn't feel like it ever takes anything away from us at all. That's the biggest lie all we've been told, is that to give, we diminish ourselves in some way when we give. We diminish our energy. We diminish our bank accounts. We diminish our heart in some way when we give. And what we recognize is that when we are in that sense of that truth, giving anything only strengthens us, builds us up, makes us strong, puts us in alignment with the truth of who we are. And so it's never about giving in and of itself. It's about how we hold it, how we embrace it, how we are with it. And so that first step is honoring and understanding, I am worthy of all of the good in the universe. It's pouring to me, through me, and as me, and I need to attune to it and embrace it. And I think then the second step that has to happen comes with allowing ourselves to be an open, powerful receiver. Opening our receiver consciousness then becomes the next step. And there are some really important things we can do around this. This year, here at Mile High Church, our initiative is the Divine Feminine. Now, we are not calling upon that initiative just to lift up those who identify as female in our community, although that is part of it. We also understand that at that spiritual definition, there is the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And we use that energy very powerfully when we do spiritual practice here. Anytime we meditate and we are opening our hearts to be in receivership of feeling that flowing energy that flows through us. And it energizes us and it inspires us and it might even speak or guide us. We are in the divine feminine. We are literally holding our energy and ourselves open to receivership of that divine presence in meditation. However, when we are praying, In any method that we are praying, speaking words, here we teach affirmative prayer. That is using the energy of the divine masculine to plant the seeds of our thoughts and our words into the beautiful law that receives it to create the life we want to create. So we have both the divine feminine and the divine masculine as part of our energy makeup, no matter where we are in our gender expression. All beings have this. And what I'm calling forth today is inviting us to have some attention to the divine feminine that is pouring through us, to open that heart within us, to open our receiving consciousness more powerfully. Something in the experience of being a human, however, causes us to be confused about receivership, I think. We're self-conscious about it. We're not always full on, bring it on life. Here's how I think we really are. Deep inside, we're like, I sure would like to be more, do more, have more, express more. And so our hand is going like this, while all the while our other hand is going like this. And so we're constantly doing this to people. Here's some little ways you might do this. When someone gives you a compliment, do you just go, thank you so much? Oh, no, I don't know that. Do you push it away? When someone tries to give you a gift or something, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You didn't need to get me a gift. If someone gives anything, do we find ourselves not just being in receivership? My little sister, when she was really small, she was a cute little thing. She had blonde hair, blue-eyed, and I remember she went through a phase where people would say to her, "You're a pretty little girl," and she'd go, "I know." Boy, I sure wish we'd walk through life and somebody would go, "You know, you did that really well," and you could go, "I know, I did, didn't I? It was fantastic." But we giggle about it because we're self-conscious about that, aren't we? We are self-conscious to be in that kind of receivership. And we also have this little dance about, is it better to be a giver or a receiver? And we have guilt about being a receiver. Do I deserve it? Should I accept that? Is that okay for me to accept it? I don't know if I should. But we feel like we've been giving these messages. Well, you got to give, you got to give, you got to give, you got to be in circulation, you got to give. And so what we do is we stop our progress around abundance because we give out of obligation. We give so that people will think we're a good person because we're so giving. And some of us in this New Thought teaching, we give to get. Well, I'll give more time, so I'll get more time. Or I'll give more money, so I get more money. Or I'll give this to get. If I give more, then I'll get more. If I give more, then I'll get more. And we miss the boat. This is that. So the secret becomes, I think, the first step is claiming our worth. The second step is opening to receive. Because I believe you can't really fully give what you have not received. A person who is fully in receivership of the good that God is as it expresses through their life is able to say, I'm so blessed. Of course you can have that stone. Here you go. Oh, you want some money? Of course I'm happy to give. Oh, you need some time? Of course. I'm happy to give because I am in receivership of the reality that there's plenty. I don't need to give out of obligation. I don't need to give just because you asked. I give because I am fully centered in on how good my life is, how much good there is flowing through me and to me. I'm in receivership. So to be in receivership, we have to ask ourselves, what keeps me from being in receivership? What keeps me from receiving life? Because there are some little things that I think we do that are actually big things that constantly are putting up the hand. Even just accepting compliments is one of them. Putting up the hand. Receiving gifts, putting up the hand. People wanting to pay for your coffee or pay for your meal, putting up the hand. Not being willing to receive. I think a big one that is plaguing many of us is we don't like to receive help, do we? We sometimes think because of the way we were raised or messages we got, or even from being in school where you were supposed to do all your problems by yourself, and if you got help or you looked on someone else's paper, you were cheating, right? I get that. And sometimes we thought it was a weak thing to get help. In order to be a functioning person, I need to do everything all by myself and prove to you how valuable I am and how good I am at everything I do because I didn't need any help at all. That is us completely putting the hand up to the universe, because what is this presence that God is? It is help and guidance and support and insight and awareness. And if we're constantly putting our hand up to it, you can't have it. You don't get it. You can't partake of it. So one way to begin to open ourselves up to this includes being willing to be a receiver of help and support. Acknowledgement, help, support. To be a graceful receiver. Thank you. I'm so grateful that you see this about me. Thank you. And it's not that we have to accept everyone's help, right? There are sometimes people offer us help to do things that we would prefer to do on our own. I'm not saying that but it's how we say no and how we feel when we say no. If the feeling inside of us when we say no is, why would they ever think that I would need help with that? I'm not weak. I'm not. Versus, wow, thank you so much for caring so much about me. I really appreciate that you are offering me support. And I feel the love in that. And I'm good. I really am so grateful. Being graceful about it. Looking at what were the messages that we got and healing those messages. I know for me, here's one of my formative moments where I learned not to accept help. I, between the ages of 9 and 11, was an avid figure skater. I skated. I lived just a couple blocks from the ice rink, and I would walk to the ice rink, and I would go for lessons and go for public skates, and I joined this figure skating troupe called the Ice Cadets, where we put on little shows. And one of my first shows, we had our little togs. I had this little short dress and my little tights, and I had to go to the rink one day to practice the moves that we were going to do in the ice show. At the same time, I was committed to ice skating, and I was very, very, very caught up in the hockey players. There was one in particular named Mike who caught my attention. And on this particular day that I showed up to rehearse for the Ice Cadets and do my little moves and everything, it was a public skate day, and I walked out all dressed up in my little short skirt and everything, and I got up to the entrance to get on the ice, and I looked out, and there's Mike, and he's on the other side of the ice, and I can see him coming around, and I thought, I am going to impress him with how powerful and beautiful and lovely I am. And so I immediately waited to the right moment, and I jumped out on the ice with this very kind of move on one foot. My foot fell out from underneath me, and I fell right on my butt. In my short skirt. And they had just done the Zamboni on the ice. So not only did I fall, I slid when I fell into kind of the top center part of the rink. And I sat there, dazed and confused, of course, for a number of reasons, because I was immediately embarrassed. I didn't fall very often. I was a really good skater, and it was really unusual for me to just step out on the ice and fall like that. So I was really kind of discombobulated. So I kind of shook it off. I remember sitting up and shaking it off, and I could see he was still coming my way. I thought I better get up. So I went to go get up right away, and I fell right back down again, right on my butt again. And I couldn't believe this. And by this time, Mike is now looming over me, and he's just standing there looking at me. And he says, you know, it helps if you take the blade guards off the skates.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He's right, it does. And I was so embarrassed. He said, can I help you? And I was like, no, you cannot help me. I didn't even stand up. I could have taken the guards off and skated away. I crawled off the ice and I went home. And I did not tell people about that for a very long time because I was so embarrassed. And what I discovered in reliving that horrible memory, which Mike would never let me forget the rest of our lives together, I anchored in that horrible embarrassment and shame and, oh, look at you, you were just trying to impress somebody and you totally messed up. I anchored that in with don't accept help because he tried to help me and I was like, no, I screwed up. I don't deserve to be helped. And so I began quickly now pushing people away who wanted to help me because it was embarrassing. I connected it with embarrassment. And it took me many years to untie that and begin to understand that every time I was doing that, I was pushing away not only people and the chance to connect with people, but I was pushing away the infinite that is pouring through, constantly seeking to be of support. So receiving help, untying those old messages that you may have gotten that are keeping you from saying yes to people supporting you, acknowledging you, loving you, lifting you up, whatever it might be, noticing the ways that we put up the hand and keep people at bay. And then I also think that gratitude is a huge doorway into receivership. The person who can spend a lifetime deliberately being grateful for all of the good that comes their way, and even being grateful for the challenges that show up, understanding that those challenges are growing them and inviting them into the deeper walk with the divine, those are people who are also in receivership of the fullness of life. To resist being grateful is to put up that hand over and over again. To resist expressing our gratitude or feeling our gratitude or opening our heart to gratitude is a constant block to the universal good. Gratitude is not just something we do to be polite or because it's important for us to write thank you notes or whatever. It's something that we do to open and warm our hearts to the good that shows up in our lives. And speaking of good, the next thing is to expect good. Expect good to show up in our lives. I know that we go through times where we look around at things that are happening on our planet and we're tempted to think, this is the worst time to be a human ever. And I don't know, if you look at the history of humans, there could be some argument that that's not so true, right? And so we walk around with this story in the big picture of planet Earth, what's happening over there, or happening over there, or happening here, or hither and yon, and in our world, what people are doing, telling ourselves stories, and we have low expectations. It's sometimes something we do to help ourselves just in case things aren't great. Well, I'm going to have low expectations of people and things and experiences. So that way, if it's good, then I can be happy. And if it's not so good, I won't be so disappointed. But I suggest, what if we're missing out on the opportunity to have great good come our way? What if we could shift our narrative and shift our story to be expecting good to come, even of things that are challenging for us, or even of the things that we see going on in the world, to expect that there are geniuses out there doing something about the things and the issues we're concerned about, to expect that people are good, to expect when we go places that we're going to encounter happy, joyful people. See, the story, the way the mind works and the way consciousness works is that what you and I expect, we get. So life is so generous, it lets us be right. But do we really want to be right about our low expectations, about each other and our leaders and our world and the issues we're facing? And so the opportunity is to look at the facts, of course, not to pretend something is what it's not. However, to live with that positive expectancy is a way to be open to the divine and is a way to contribute to the solutions we crave for peace on earth, for people to live happy and harmoniously. You and I are not going to contribute to those things if we keep having such low expectations of each other and of life. Thank you. We have got to change the story. We have got to change our hearts. We have got to begin to expect and to see and to claim good and to cultivate a life where we can see that in our lives, to live that powerful way. I came across a meme a couple weeks ago that I want to share with you from Dimples, who says, "A friend made the suggestion to start a note in my phone called 'Good things are always happening to me,' and to purposefully add to it every day. Absolute game changer." So these are some of the things I'm suggesting for us. If you're up for changing the game of abundance on our planet and in your life, the game-changing choices include stepping fully into the value and worth that you bring to our planet, that each of us brings. Stepping fully into it. Wow, you're really good at that. Yeah, I am, thanks. Being fully in our spiritual worth, being fully aware of it, being in receivership to life, letting ourselves be lifted up, helped, supported, seen, and heard by people and experiences, being in gratitude for the good in our life and expecting good to happen. Claim it. Own it. Tell stories about it. Write it down every day, all of the good that occurred in life. If you're caught up in doom scrolling on social media or caught up in watching negative news all the time, there are sites. There's a great site called goodnews.com. You've got to be willing to neutralize that part that's looking at all the bad stuff with all the good stuff, because you know what? There are great things happening on this earth. There are people supporting each other, lifting each other up, helping each other tremendously. But if we don't see it, we don't get to be part of it. And so to see it, we've got to expect it and call it in and claim it. And this is how we begin to make the shift into an abundant life. I close with our founder, yes, Ernest Holmes. Ernest Holmes says to us, learn to expect and to accept the divine nature flowing through everything we do. Receive it, accept it, right here, right now. Let's pray together. I invite our practitioner prayer partners to join me by standing. And let us all just give thanks for each one of them, to practice right now gratitude for their consciousness, their presence, their light on this planet, and for the way that they serve this church. And one way they serve is that at the end of our service, any one of us can come down front and they will be happy to utter an affirmative prayer on our behalf about anything in our life. What a great gift. What a great gift. And so we are grateful for that. And we step into this prayerful consciousness, opening our minds and hearts now to the reality, the capital R reality of the divine presence that God is, the light, the love, the wholeness, the abundance that it is, that it pours itself through creation, pouring itself through every being, through every heart, through every life. And it is pouring itself to us and through us and as us right here and right now. I can feel and sense this light. Oh, yes. And the minute we begin to feel it, we feel those beautiful words of truth that Laura sang to us. It's been right here all along. I've been searching and trying to find it through all these different modalities and ways, and it's been right here all along. And I am in full receivership of it right here and right now. And I accept that each one of us is, that we now surrender all barriers to good that have been in our way up until this moment. We let them go. The ones we know about and even the ones we don't totally know about. For we poise ourselves in this place of recognition that we are in the flow. We are the flow. We are the divine flow that God is. And it is our birthright. And it is the truth of us to give and to share and to be fully alive and experiencing all of the good and being a conduit for it in our world. This is who we are. This is what we came here to do. So we surrender and let go of any barriers that have kept us from that up until now, and we fully stand in this truth, in this light. And I give joyous thanks that this is the truth of us now. I give thanks that this is made manifest in each of our lives, that we go forth from this place, being this, living this, experiencing this now. And I release this prayer into the action of that law that makes it so. We let go, we let it be, and so it is. Amen.
I'm coming home. I am coming home. I am coming to the heart of a mother, strength of a father, and joining hands with all of my brothers in this love so true. Created just for me and you. All you really have to do is know that you were never left behind in the beauty of mankind. Heaven is found here. It's been right here, and the miracle you've tried to find is here. It's been right here all along.
Thank you, Laura. Beautiful. So we come to the part in our service where we get to put this in action. So whatever you're choosing to give today around financial giving to our community, I invite us to first stop and just feel the receivership of good in our lives, the receivership of flow. And so whatever you're going to do, anchor yourself in that awareness as we get a chance to give. And the ways to give are many. We want you to know that they've changed a little bit. We've changed our platform for giving. We still accept checks and cash, of course, and many of you like to give through a QR code. Just note that our text to give number has changed. Like, we're regular text to give people, so you need to change your number to give to us, and you can go online and give, and it'll invite you the first time you go there to create a new account for yourself, and we encourage you to do that. If you've been a regular auto giver, please make that shift to migrate over. We're all migrating over this month, and if you would like to become an auto giver, you can go to that site and do that. And I want you to know that even if you are a check giver or a cash giver, you may want to create an account, because if you give in any identifiable fashion, there'll be an opportunity to have this account and go to PushPay and always see your giving, always print a statement of giving, always be sure that we got the money that you are giving to us, and always be able to lift up the mission of our community with your giving. And we also know that this platform is going to cost us all less and give you a chance to also support the church in that regard. So we're very grateful to be making this shift, and we're just going to keep telling you about it all month and give you a chance to participate. If you have any questions or you want to make that migration today or set up an account today, we do have a table set up out in the lobby with Mark Pino and a wonderful guy named Ken Krisman, and you can stop there, and they've got some technology that they can help you get all set up and answer questions. So thank you so much, and thank you again for all your giving. And as we give, please say our affirmation with me. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
Well, I'm so grateful to share this song with you. One of my songs I wrote a while ago about inspired by women and the divine feminine and the queen in each and every one of us, and being solidly in our voice around that. And, well, here it goes. about the night. Sometimes you wonder if everything's alright, but the voice is loud and clear and always about something you need to hear. She's the lady of the wind, living and standing in the shadows of once been still. She's making her dreams come true. Fortune's alive in me and you. Here we go. These are voices, yeah. These are our voices. It's you and me and everything in between. Our voices, yeah. We're the fire of the heart, and all of forever in a brand new start, reclaiming what's always been, writing our days on that wing. These are voices. These are our voices. It's you and me and everything in between. Our voices. Well, Stu, take it away. Well, tell her you need her. Tell her you'd really, really love to meet her. Oh. Stomping our feet to the music, wine dripping down from a glass. Maybe later, drawing the possibilities, living through lifetime past. These are voices, yeah. These are our voices. It's you and me and everything in between. Our voices, our voices, our voices. It's you and me and everything in between. Our voices. Now, sing this with me. It's you and me and everything in between. It's you and me and everything in between. Yeah. It's you and me and everything in between. It's you and me and everything in between. These are voices. Every single voice, yeah, yeah. It's you and me and everything in between. Our voices,
Precious Laura, please know that your voice has heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
To the world's most dangerous church band, we love every one of them. And let's hear it for this lady.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And if you're here for the first time today, you are welcome always at Mile High. I always tell people, give yourself 3 tries coming to Mile High, because we're different, and that's why we love it so much here. It's good. And so if you're here for the first time, I'll be at the Welcome Center, and I have this packet here. You could probably almost wear it like a backpack if you'd like, but it's filled with all kinds of goodies for you, and even a couple little coupons that will give you a discount on a class. So come see me. And also our practitioners are lined up. They're standing there waiting for you to come forth for a prayer.
We also want you to know that tonight at 5 o'clock over in the Vote Auditorium, Reverend Kay will be doing our Healing Light service. It's a meditation service, that beautiful opportunity to continue that receivership. It's a lovely, sweet service, so please join us for that. We also are recruiting new members for our Board of Trustees. Every year we bring on 3 new board members, and so if you're someone who's a member of Mile High Church, has taken the Beyond Limits or equivalent, and would be interested in being in leadership, you can go to our website and download the application, which lists all the things that the board members do. So we would look forward to hearing from you on that. And this Friday night at 7 o'clock, Reverend Zamir will be leading a Healing Bowl service, another meditation service over in the Vote Auditorium. So you're all welcome to come for that. So we got lots of good stuff going on. Please join me by standing and let's do the benediction and the peace song. Please say after me, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is all that I am. I receive it with great gladness. And so it is.
Stomping our feet to the music, wine dripping down from a glass.